Hey guys, so Christmas in January, I kind of accumulated a lot of books. Like a lot of books. Like a lot of books. Like a whole bunch of books. So today I finally have my Christmas and January book haul to show you all. I am so excited. There are 31 books, I think, in this haul. So I guess I better get to hauling. So the first set of books I am going to show you all are a book outlet order that I placed on Boxing Day, which I believe is the day after Christmas. I'm not sure, you all can correct me if that's wrong, but I got 14 books in this order, so I got a good bit. And I got them for $40, so can't beat that. The first book that I got was If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. I have heard a couple people talk about this book, mostly books in Lala, but it is about a group of, I believe, 7 students that are participating in a Shakespearean play, and it has that timeline, but then it's also like 10 years in the future when one of them is released from prison after a accident, murder, crime of some sort. So you kind of get back and forth perspectives from the different timelines, and I get the feeling that it is just chock full of drama and just teen angst, I believe, and I can't wait. So the next book is All the Rage by Courtney Summers, and if you all have been watching my channel, you know that I absolutely loved Sadie by Courtney Summers, so I had to get to all of her previous works. This is about a boy named Kellen, that he is kind of the golden boy, but Romy, who is a girl from kind of the wrong side of town, knows that he's not actually the golden boy that everybody thinks he is. She is bullied, she's seen as a liar, and the only place that she can take refuge is the diner outside of town that she works at. But one day a girl that has connections to Romy and Kellen comes in and maybe just might be turning her world upside down. So really excited about this. If this is anything like Sadie at all, I know I will love it. I can't wait to get to this book. So the next book is Into the Water by Paula Hawkins. I have read The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins, and I did not like it. I think I gave it 2 stars. I was not overly impressed with it, but I've heard that this one is way better. So this is about a single mom that gets washed up out of a river that runs through town, and she leaves behind her 15-year-old daughter, who kind of gets left with this aunt that she kind of didn't even know she had, and the aunt has to come back to this place where she swore she'd never return. So sounds suspicious, sounds super interesting, sounds like just a thriller that I would dig my teeth into. So pretty excited about this one as well. The next one is Roomies by Christina Lauren. This book is about a guy that he's like a musician, I think in the New York subway, and he saves this woman's life. And kind of to return the favor, she decides that she's going to help him stay in the country by being his like fake wife. And I get the feeling that throughout the book, those feelings become less fake. Romance, cute, sounds awesome. This one is Replica by Lauren Oliver. This is actually told through 2 different perspectives from Lyra and Gemma, which, can we talk about the fact that that's printed on there? I hate that. But it's signed. I'm really excited about it. This is a book that I've been kind of eyeballing since it came out. I've heard really mixed reviews about it. I have not enjoyed a Lauren Oliver book before, but I'm hoping with this one that it's right up my alley. But this is kind of my last shot with Lauren Oliver, and if I don't like it, then I'm just not going to read her books ever again. Sorry. This next one is The Hypnotist by Lars Kepler. This is a Scandinavian crime fiction, I believe. I saw Crime by the Book talk about it, so of course I had to pick it up just to try it. But this is about an inspector that she has put on a case where multiple people have died, and the only witness is the little boy whose family was all killed, but he suffers through a whole bunch of stab wounds and is basically rendered catatonic. And the inspector kind of pushes this doctor to perform hypnosis on him, even though this doctor swore she would never perform hypnosis ever again. And it kind of opens up this can of worms that like no one was expecting. If Crime by the Book loves this book, I'm sure I will like it too. This is definitely different than what I would normally pick up, just because, again, I'm really not that familiar with like Scandinavian books, but I've picked up a bunch based on her recommendations. I just had to add this one to my collection as well. So I also got a bunch of Stephen King in this order. The first one is Nightmares and Dreamscapes. This is a bunch of short stories. I don't know what any of them are, so I'm not even going to pretend to try and give you a synopsis, but I'm really excited. It's huge though. But my mother-in-law ensures me that it's going to be a quick read, so trust in you, Frida. The next is a Stephen King as well, and that is Thinner. This is when he wrote under his pen name of Richard Bachman. This is about a guy that he's got pretty much everything he could ever want in life, except for he's got 50 extra pounds that his doctor swears will be the death of him. And then one day he, I believe, like runs or like hit and runs an old woman, and her dad curses him by just saying one word, thinner. And rapidly, this guy's weight that was so hard to get off is suddenly just like coming right off, but it won't stop. How like kind of terrifying does that sound? I'm interested to read this. It's pretty short for a Stephen King. I'm kind of nervous though, because I feel like I'm walking into the realm of like his scarier stuff, so kind of nervous about that, but I'm really excited to get to this one too. This is another one that he wrote under the pen name of Richard Bachman, and it is The Long Walk. I'm going to try and read this one pretty soon, because this one definitely seems the most interesting out of the ones that I got. And this is about a bunch of teenage boys in a dystopian America that all set out on this kind of like challenge, I guess. And it's pretty much last one left walking gets the dream, like the life of his dreams. But everybody else that doesn't make it dies. Like, if you don't keep up the pace, you die. If you give up, you die. Like, so you're pretty much walking to the death. And our main character joins this even against his mother's will, but it's kind of like all the boys figuring out like, was this worth it? Was it not? What's going on? Like, what does life mean? So pretty excited about this one. Seems pretty gruesome, but again, my mother-in-law ensures me that it's a good one. I have two more Stephen Kings. One of them is Duma Key. This is about a guy that he suffers some sort of, it's a terrible construction site accident, and he loses a hand, I believe, a right arm. It scrambles his mind and implodes his marriage. And in a form of rehabilitation, he rents a home in Duma Key, Florida, and he starts painting. But what he paints is right out of the dreams/nightmares of this old woman that lives nearby, whose roots apparently dig a little bit deeper than a lot of people suspect. Again, sounds scary. I think my mom has actually read this one. I'm not sure, I'll have to ask her. But again, apparently I'm collecting Stephen King now, so I had to get this one for my collection, and it was on Book Outlet. And the last one is Rose Madder. This is about a woman who is trying to escape an abusive marriage, but her husband has a eerie knack for finding people. So this is basically about her going insane while trying to stay away from him. I believe my husband's entire like female family has read this book. They all say it's fantastic. I trust them. Again, another Stephen King. Not too terribly long, but hopefully I can read a whole bunch of Stephen King this year because I've got a lot. So this next one I picked up after hearing a bunch of people talk about it last year, and I know very little about it, but it is Forest of a Thousand Lanterns by Julie C. Dow. This is a retelling of the evil queen from Snow White, and I absolutely love that because it's the evil queen in like an Asian setting. So super thrilled to get my hands on this. Sounds like it's going to be right up my alley. I love retellings. Like the Lunar Chronicles I really enjoyed, like Court of Thorns and Roses, obviously. But can't wait to get to this one as well. The next one is 10 by Gretchen McNeil. This is basically a spin-off of Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None, and it's about 10 teenagers that all go to one island, and slowly they get picked off one by one, and they have to figure out who's doing it. I have read And Then There Were None. I loved it. Hopefully this one's a little bit goofier because it's teenagers, but I'm still really excited about this. Hopefully I like it as much as I did the Agatha Christie version. And the very last one out of my book outlet order is Our Dark Duet by Victoria Schwab. I read this Savage song 2 years ago, I think. I read it in audiobook form, and I do think I'm going to read this one in audiobook form as well. I just need a physical copy because I have a physical copy of this Savage song, and I can't wait to get to this one because this will be the first series of Victoria Schwab's that I have actually completed. Okay, so this next stack is all books that I got either from Barnes & Noble or McKay's. Mostly McKay's, so a lot of these I'm not gonna have a clue what they're about, but I'm really excited to show them all to you. Okay, so this one is Our Kind of Cruelty by Araminta Hall. I did not look up how to pronounce your name, I'm so sorry. But I literally just want to read you all what the inside of the dust jacket says because that's like the perfect synopsis. It says, Mike knows that most of us go through life for that missing person, someone who will make us complete. But he and Verity are different. They have found each other, and nothing and no one will tear them apart. It doesn't matter that Verity is marrying another man, because they play a game, a secret game they call the Crave. The aim being to demonstrate what they both know, that Verity needs Mike, and only Mike. Mike knows Verity's upcoming marriage is the biggest game they've ever played, and it's for high stakes. Except this time, in order for Mike and Verity to be together, someone has to die. I am so excited. This cover I've never actually seen anywhere else, so I was pretty excited when I saw this one. I think I saw it at McKay's for like $3, so I definitely had to pick it up. But this sounds sexy and terrifying and stressful. All the things I like in a book. This next one is Friend Request by Laura Marshall. I literally know nothing. Pretty much it's about, like, all I know is that it's about this girl who gets a friend request from someone who she thought was dead. That's literally all I know about this book. Sounds corny, sounds hilarious, but at the same time, I think I might really enjoy it, so I saw it for like $1 or $2. I had to pick it up. This next one is Hausfrau by Jill Alexander Esbaum, I believe. This is about a housewife that she basically has a competition with herself to see how many affairs she can get into because none of them are satisfying her anymore. Like, the thrill of having an affair no longer excites her. So she basically just gets herself into as many affairs as possible. This sounds really bizarre, but I saw Books in La La Hall this like 3 years ago, and I saw it at McKay's, and I was like, oh my gosh, I recognize that, so I got it. So this one is Invictus by Ryan Groden. I have read The Walled City by Ryan Groden, and I really enjoyed it. This one is the son of a time traveler and a gladiator, I believe, and I think he's trying to set the timeline straight and rescue the world. Sounds fantastic. Sounds amazing. Can't wait to get into it. If it's anything like The Walled City, I'm gonna absolutely love it. And then these next two are The Dry and Force of Nature by Jane Harper. I saw Books and Lala read these in her Goodreads, like top 10 Goodreads Choice Awards for thrillers video. I don't know what she called it, sorry. But these are about an inspector or a detective. And it's just basically like different cases that he's been on. She thought The Dry was okay and really liked The Force of Nature, but I'm really excited to get to both of them because I have found I really like stories about detectives. So super excited to get into both of these. Sorry if I'm starting to go a little bit fast, but my battery's about to die and I'm getting into the books that I know less and less about, so sorry. This next one is The Lies We Told by Camilla Way. I know exactly what this book's about because I actually read the arc back in October? Maybe? I don't remember. But I read it last year. I really enjoyed it. It's about this girl that she wakes up and realizes that her boyfriend never came home the night before. And he has this big meeting that morning. So it's very unlike him to stay out like way past when he's supposed to. But it turns out that he is missing, and while she's in a frenzied panic trying to figure out where he is, she finds these emails that lead to very suspicious places. So I loved this book. I believe I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 star. I would definitely recommend this. It's so good. So this next one, I have read 2 books by this author before, and that is The Ghostwriter by Alessandra Tor. That is A.R. Tor, who wrote the Deanna Madden series. This book is about a girl that she writes romance novels, but she is finally writing the final book of her career because this book is her confession. Apparently it is something that she has been hiding from police, family, and friends, and she is finally coming clean. I'm so excited to read this. It sounds amazing. Of course, I love A.R. Tor's writing in the Deanna Madden series, so I know I'm probably gonna like this one. These next two, I know absolutely nothing about pretty much, except for the fact that I have read from these authors before, and that is The Child by Fiona Barton and The Girl Before by J.P. Delaney. I picked these up on the same day because Barnes & Noble was having a 2 for $10 on hardcovers, so I had to get them. This next book is Days of Blood and Starlight by Laini Taylor. I read Strange the Dreamer last year, and I'm actually re-listening to the audiobook right now, and I'm absolutely loving it. I'm really excited to get to this series, and I figured as long as I have the first one, that I should go ahead and get the second one because hopefully I'll actually love it this time. This next one is Unravel by Kalia Reed. And this is about a girl who is in a mental institution. She has amnesia. She can't remember a whole lot, but basically she is starting to lose her sanity. And the only hope of getting it back is unraveling her past and figuring out what happened to her best friend. I have heard a couple people talk about this book, not a whole bunch, but I found it on Barnes & Noble and I have not seen it literally anywhere else. So I was really excited when I found it and I had to order it. These next 3 I don't know a whole lot about, but they're all from the same author, which is going to come as a little bit of a surprise because if you watch my vlogs, you will find out that I was not overly thrilled with this writer's writing style, but I'm trying to give her another chance, and that is The House We Grew Up In, I Found You, and Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. Hopefully these books all wow me in a way that Watching You did not. See, the funny thing is, Books and Lala loved Watching You. I did not. She didn't really care for this one. I'm thinking I'm gonna like it. So I kind of just stocked up because they were all $2 and hopefully I really enjoy them. This next book I actually had zero intention of picking up, but this girl and I sat at McKay's and talked for like 30 minutes about this book because she was that passionate about it. So I went ahead and grabbed it and it's Peter and the Starcatchers by Dave Barry and Ridley Pearson. It is basically the origin story of all of the Peter Pan characters, and it's like before Wendy and Michael and John, and I believe it is their parents. So I don't know. This girl is very passionate about it, so I kind of felt weird not leaving with it. Whew. Last book. It is My Husband's Wife by Jane Corey. This book is about a husband and wife that the husband, I believe, is having an affair with the wife across the street. But he's like, oh, little white lies won't hurt. Little white lies won't hurt. Blah, 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 blah. Especially if I tell them to my wife about my other wife. What? So this sounds like it's going to be full of just like deceit and mystery and drama, and I am here for that. It's not super long, but I saw it at McKay's. It looks super interesting. I don't think I've ever heard anybody talk about it, so really looking forward to getting to it soon. Whew! So yeah, that was my entire haul. It was a lot of books. I hope you all stuck around with me through this whole thing. I know this video is probably pretty long. But thank you all so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely tell me what you think I will get to first down in the comments below, and I will see you all next time. Bye!